That's right, boys and girls, we are live. We have a title race still on our hands over the Premier League, as of course a very, very tasty relegation battle. And of course, don't get me started about the race for the top four. We got all about it, all of it coming at you next, and we're going to do it live. That's right, folks, back once again with another match prediction video today. We look forward to match number 35 over in the Premier League, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe button and keep back today. All things Premier League related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We're going to all here, boys, under one roof. We've got a couple of go, folks, live in the chat, so respect to you guys for joining me this Friday noonish. It is 7 a.m. early for me. Got a busy old day ahead, but I want to get these picks in there before, of course, we get any deeper, of course. Let's take a look at it. It's just a second ago, big shout out to my VIPs. They're the pictures, guys. Thank you for loving, of course, my disease. You know who you are. But anyway, what we're going to do right here, right now is, of course, revisit the last results, bring it bang up to date with, of course, the league, bang up to date with the prediction table, of course, and then kick it off forward to the weekend's action. So let's get into it. If you are here now, you can join in. Of course, we're going to jump in with, of course, predicting the games coming at you this weekend. So jump in the chat if you do. If you don't know what you're doing, just watch and see. We'll talk about it right here, right now. So let's get into it then. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you can see me. So these were the games, of course, not including last night's game, Chelsea against Manchester United, which ended up 1-1. We'll talk about the rest here. Leicester City against Aston Villa, that's right, ended up as a 0-0 draw. It's a bit of a damp squib now for Stevie Gerrard's boys right now. They don't look like the real deal anymore. It's kind of the flame is burning out, and I think they just want to get the season over with, and of course build for next year. Leicester City, of course, doing it okay in the mixer still, of course, in Europa Conference League. Arsenal, though, big winners over Manchester United last week. Of course, 3-1 win in the end. I went with a 2-1 win myself. Meanwhile, Brighton with a 2-2 draw against Southampton. Manchester City put 5 past Watford, 5-1 win in the end. Brentford and Spurs was a dud, 0-0 there. Crystal Palace also a dud, 0-0 against Leeds United.Urnley picking up a 1-0 win over Wolves.
Oh my days!
Of course, Michael Jackson with a big win there, of course, keeping Burnley in the mixer right now to stay in the Premier League this time around. Norwich City, though, 3-0 loss against Newcastle, the Geordies. Chelsea with a 1-0 win over West Ham. And, of course, the Merseyside derby. A couple of late goals there for Liverpool, got them over the line in a very, very one-sided affair last time around. Again, Chelsea did play Manchester United last night, 1-1 it was. But to be honest with you, there was no real flavour in that game. It didn't really feel like anything that really relied on it, to be honest with you. No real deciding factor, because this is what the table looks like right here, right now, including that result. And Manchester United sitting 6th right now. They're on 55 points, but a win for them can move up to 5th. But of course, the top of the table is just 1 point between Liverpool and Manchester City for the race for the title. Chelsea are in no man's land, and down the foot of the table, Norwich pretty much gone. Watford are just about to join them, and of course, Watford, Burnley still in the relegation fight, as are Leeds United. You can't really rule them out just yet. And Everton do have a game in hand. So if Everton were to win that game in hand, they would put out to 32 points. And then Leeds United are right back in the thick of things for relegation to the Championship. That's what could happen. You know, I've got my own side of the coin. I would like to see Burnley go down, but I also got a little bit of a flavour if Everton were to go down. But of course, Leeds would be a bit of an anticlimax towards the relegation battle for myself. And I think they should stay in the Premier League. Leeds. I think they're a big enough club, and they've had their own turmoils. But of course, it would be nice to see Everton go down, but it also would be nice to get the freaks back down a couple of pegs. But anyway, let's take a look at how you guys got on with your own prediction. Cody Cahoe in the house. Haven't seen that name in a long time. Bianca Molo kicking ass with 9 bins there. Well done to her. Champ Dude as well up there with Nadakam kicking ass and taking thing. I don't know what's going on here. Some of you, hopefully, maybe had a couple of coffees. Woo! It's live TV. I can't fix it. We just have to roll with it. That is basically the master leaderboard from the January onwards. And Iman Hussein, well, this is psychedelic, brother, with that background. Iman Hussein's up there with 80 points. Max Sangadi's up there with 77. And then you're gonna have to wait and see for the next guys, but that is some crazy stuff right there. Whatever, we'll move on. That's of course the prediction lead, the mini leaderboard. Of course, the next time you see me, of course, in this outfit, of course, in the Premier League outfit, we will have the master leaderboard, and we'll have the winner, of course, for the predictor of the month for the month of April. But these games are, of course, this weekend, for the most part, in April. So we'll get into them right here, right now. If you want to get involved, it is cut.the/Premier. I'm not prepared, guys. It's very, very early in the morning. It is very, very early in the morning for me. It's 7:06. But anyway, we're going to jump in the deep end with, and of course, the next round of matches, which are these. Hopefully you're with me, and hopefully you can jump in with your picks as well. So let me just fire up the old computer here with all the data, and we're going to chuck it at you right here, right now. So let's get into it. Of course, kicking it off with Aston Villa up against Norwich City. Of course, it's the Dean Smith derby. That's right, coming at you at Villa Park. Now, these two sides have played each other 24 times since 1993. 13 wins to Aston Villa, 6 wins to Norwich, and 5 draws, of course. Taking place on the 30th of April. Just 1 win and 6 of Aston Villa right now, 25% form. Up against the Norwich side, also 25% form for them, 1 win and 6 as well. Both identical kind of forms over the last 6. Last time around, of course, over at Villa Park, it was a 1-0 win for Aston Villa back in Boxing Day 2019. The reverse fixture, of course, at Carrow Road was a 2-0 win for Aston Villa back in December 2021. Norwich do come into this on the back of that 3-0 loss against Newcastle. They've actually conceded 6 goals in the last 2 games. Up against the Aston Villa side, who've come into this having scored in the last 2 games. Goodness gracious me. What do you think about this? Get your picks in while, of course, I give you the odds. 5-2 on is your Aston Villa. They are red hot favourites at home. 7-2 is your draw. And 8-1 is your long shot. So that's, of course, Norwich City on this one. What do you guys think in the chat? If you're there, if you're not, it's too late. But, of course, make sure you get your picks in using the link. I'm actually going to go with a cheeky 2-0 win for Stevie G's boys. Of course, get back to winning ways and try to end the season strongly. That defeat could actually put Norwich down. I don't know. I haven't got my calculator out. But Matt, of course, I think he basically is a win or bust now for Norwich. They've got to try and get the results, but I just don't see them happening. Next, of course, we have Everton up against, of course, Chelsea. Of course, over on Sunday, May the 1st, over at Goodison Park. Of course, Frank Lampard's boys up against his old boys. It's the Frank Lampard derby. That's right. 68 times they played each other since 1984. 14 wins for Everton, 32 wins for Chelsea, and 22 draws. Just 1 win in 6 though for Everton right now, 25% form. Up against the Chelsea side, who've lost just once in the last 6, 75% form heading into this match. In fact, what we got? Best prediction. Thank you, K-Dash. The next big thing. I appreciate the love. And of course, Everton do come into this on the back of a 2-0 loss against Liverpool. Chelsea, though, coming into this on the back of that 1-1 draw against Manchester United. Just 1 goal conceded over the last 2 games. Kicking off forward, though, what do we have on this one? Of course, the odds coming at you for this one. Everton 4-1 for the victory, of course. 13-5 is your draw, and 4-3 on is your Chelsea. They are red hot favourites as well on the road here. What are you guys thinking about this? Of course, it's a must win a game for Everton as well, because Burnley they will not go away. Burnley will not go away. Chelsea, of course, they're in the race for 3rd. They're on their own, but of course, I am actually going to go with a win for Chelsea on the road here. 2-0 win for them, clean sheet to boot, and Everton remain where they are. They'll be looking over their shoulders, of course, at the Watford Burnley game. We'll get to that one shortly. Next, of course, we have Southampton up against who are you? It's Crystal Palace. That's right, coming at you at St Mary's. Now, these two sides have played each other 37 times since 1984. 17 wins for Southampton, 10 wins for Crystal Palace, and 10 draws. Just 1 win and 6 though for Southampton right now. 33% form. I always have trouble saying that. Up against the Crystal Palace side, who haven't won in the last 4. 42% form over the last 6 though. So of course, coming at you though last time around at St Mary's, was a 3-1 win for Southampton back in May 2021. The reverse fixture over at Selhurst Park was a 2-2 draw back in December 2021 as well. Crystal Palace have only won once in the last 6 when taking on Crystal Palace, and that 1 win was back in September 2020. Of course, Crystal Palace though coming to this on the back of a 0-0 draw against Leeds. They also haven't scored in the last 3 games. Goodness gracious me, losing to Chelsea, Newcastle, and that 0-0 draw against Leeds United. Meanwhile, coming at you though, Southampton coming to on the back of that 2-2 draw against Brighton. Of course, the odds though for this one, what have we got going on here? We have got Southampton 7-5 for the victory, 23-10 is your draw, 21-10 is your Crystal Palace. By the way, I used to go by Kelsey Shambangu. Been with your channel for a while. Only thing left is for me to be a patron very, very soon. I appreciate that, K-Dash. Yes, I do like that name, Kelsey Shambangu. That was a banging name. I do appreciate it on this one. Anyway, let's get into this one. What are we thinking about this? Southampton up against Crystal Palace at St Mary's. Of course, it's one of the traditional 3 o'clock kickoffs, and I am going to go with a 1-1 draw right down the middle. Of course, nobody's going to be happy with that one, really, because they want to get wins, don't they? Want to move up the table. Kicking on for those, Watford up against Burnley, relegation 6-pointer. If I ever saw one coming at you at Vicarage Road, it's must win for Watford. Burnley might have an extra life in it, but of course, it's at Vicarage Road. Again, 3 o'clock kickoff. Watford coming to this on the back of just 1 win and 6 for them, 17% form. I guess the Burnley side, just 1 defeat of the last 5. New manager bounce indeed. Of course, they're looking red hot right now with Michael Jackson in charge, 58% form for them. Of course, now these two sides have played each other 36 times in 1994, 10 wins for Watford, 16 wins for Burnley, and we've got 10 draws as well. Watford coming to this on the back of, in fact, last time around over at Vicarage Road, it was a 3-0 win for Burnley back in November 2019. Burnley, though, of course, reverse fixture at Deepdale at Turdmore back in February was a 0-0 draw. In fact, Watford haven't scored a goal against Burnley since way back, since 2018 when they won 3-1 over Burnley at Turdmore. So, of course, they do need a result heading into this one. Of course, Burnley coming into this on the back of a 1-0 win over Wolves, back-to-back clean sheets for Burnley. Meanwhile, Watford coming into this on the back of that 5-1 loss to Manchester City. The odds for this one, we got Watford 8-5 for the victory, 7-4 is your Burnley, 23-10 is your draw. Must-win game for both of these two sides. If Watford win, they might just be able to drag themselves out of it, but of course, difficult one. I'm going with Watford here, of course I am.
Freaks are freaky, and
of course, hopefully that defeat will put a kibosh in their survival hopes. And of course, if not though, if Burnley were to win and Everton do lose, then it gets really very difficult for Everton to get themselves out of it. Of course, next, of course, we have Leeds United up against Manchester City coming at you at Ellen Road. Let's get into the deep end on this one now. Of course, now they've played each other 16 times in 1993, 6 wins for Leeds United, 5 wins for City, and 5 draws. Just 1 defeat though in the past 6 games for Leeds United. Of course, Jesse Marsh's boys, 67% form. A nice little run going there, unbeaten in 5. Up against the Manchester City side, of course, who won 3 in the bouts, 67% form. Of course, heading into this match as well. Last time round though, over at Ellen Road, it was a 1-1 draw back in October 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, at the Etihad was a 7-0 win for Man City way back in December 2021. Of course, Leeds United coming to this on the back of a 0-0 draw against Palace. They have back-to-back clean sheets for them up against a City side who've scored quite a lot of goals over the last 3 games. What we're looking at now, 12 goals of the last 3 games. That's averaging 4 goals a game. Absolute thriller. Manchester City right now ripping it up. Of course, destined to be champions, are they? 50-2 is your Leeds, of course. 5-1 short, and 10-3 is your away win. Of course, that is Manchester City. You're going to back, of course, City here. 3-0 win for them on the road, despite, of course, a tricky Leeds United team at the moment. Next, of course, we have Manchester United up against Brentford coming at you on Monday, May the 2nd, of course. Is it over for Manchester United and, of course, top 4? Well, they need to win this game if they want to get themselves back into it. Of course, Ten Hag waiting in the wings. Ralf Rangnick, of course, on his way to Austria, of course, eventually. Now, these two sides have played each other 2 times in 2021. 1 win for Manchester United, nothing for Brentford, and 1 draw, of course. Meanwhile, Man United comes to just 1 win in 6. 33% form for them up against Brentford side, just lost once, and the last 6, 75% form for them heading into this game. Of course, they only played each other once in professional action, of course, competitive action, that's the word I was looking for. 3-1 when it was for Manchester United at Brentford back in January 2022. Brentford, though, coming into this on the back of that 0-0 draw against Tottenham, and of course, Manchester United with a 1-1 draw against Chelsea just yesterday. Kicking on forward, though, the odds 11-8 on is your Manchester United, 3-1 short, and 7-2 is your Brentford. Of course, I would like Brentford to win this one. Of course, I would have backed him for the most part of things, but at Old Trafford with Manchester United, with Ronaldo scoring goals, I can only see a 1 win here. 2-1 win in there. It's going to be tight though, difficult game, and of course, Brentford will be trying to be defensive as best and keep the goals to a minimum. Next, of course, we have probably a real difficult game here. Is the Geordies up against, of course, Liverpool. Klopp just signed a new deal. He's going to be here for another 2 years, 2026, I think the contract is now. So yeah, more glory years could be up ahead for Liverpool. But they've got a difficult one up against Newcastle at St James's Park. The early kickoff on 30th of April. That's aka tomorrow. 54 times they played since 1993. 11 wins for Newcastle, 31 wins for Liverpool, and 12 draws, of course. And they also play ahead of Manchester City, who take on Leeds as well. The late kickoff on Saturday as well. Of course, Newcastle are winning 4 in about 67% form for them heading into this game up against the Liverpool side, unbeaten, of course, in how many games? At least 6, winning 4 in the bouts as well. 83% form over the last 6 games as well. 4 wins on the spin in all comps. Last round over at St James's Park, it was a 0-0 draw back in December 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, at Anfield was a 3-1 win for Liverpool back in December 2021. So Liverpool unbeaten against Newcastle over the last 6, picking up 4 wins and a couple of draws as well. Meanwhile, Newcastle coming to this on the back of that 3-0 win over Norwich, back-to-back clean sheets up against the Liverpool side, have also picked up 3 clean sheets on the spin, but of course all those 3 clean sheets were at home. This game is on the road. Kicking on 4 though, the odds though, we have 50-2 is your Liverpool, 4-1 is your draw, so 50-2 is your Geordies, 4-1 is your draw, 11-4 on is your Liverpool, and this one of course is going to be Liverpool. It's going to be tight though, 3-1 win in the end. It might be a stubborn Newcastle side, but of course Liverpool want the win. They need the win to keep the title race going on another week. Kicking off 4 those Spurs against Leicester coming at you on Sunday, May the 2nd. Now these two sides have played each other 35 times in 4, 15 wins to Spurs, 14 wins to Leicester, and 6 draws, of course. Spurs though, back-to-back games without a win for them. 75% form though over the last 6 up against the Leicester side, just 1 loss in the past 6. However, without a win in 4. Of course, 58% form heading into this match as well. Last round, of course, over at Spurs at the Fancy Pants Stadium, aka the Tottenham Stadium. It was a 2-0 win for Leicester back in, of course, December 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, at the King Power this campaign back in January, 3-2 win it was for Spurs in the end. Over the last 3 occasions in this match, whether it's at Leicester or Spurs or London, the away side has won. Goodness gracious me, and there's been goals in these games as well. I'm looking at the last 3 games. There's been 5, 6, what are we looking at here? 5, 11, 13 goals in the last 3 games combined. Meanwhile, kicking off, although Leicester did pick up a draw against Roma last night, and of course Spurs with a draw against Brentford just last weekend. Do a video next on Rovers manager. I'm thinking about it very, very much so. Of course, the odds for this one coming at you though. What are we looking at? What are we looking at? We have 9-4 on is your Spurs, 50-4 is your, and 6-1 is your long shots. That's Leicester City, of course. Back in Spurs here, 2-0 win for them. Back at their Fancy Pants Stadium, keeping their top 4 dreams alive. Next, of course, we have West Ham United up against Arsenal with an all-London affair. Of course, West Ham got it all to do still over in the Europa League. A bit of a damp squib last night against on-track Frankfurt. Arsenal, though, still well on track for top 4 right now. Of course, they played each other 53 times in 3, 8 wins for West Ham, 35 wins for Arsenal, and 10 draws. Just 1 win and 6 though for West Ham right now. Bit of a damp squib, 33% form for them up against the Arsenal side, who've won 3 and lost 3, 50% form, but back-to-back wins heading into this. Last round, they'll go at London Road. or London Stadium. It was a 3-3 draw back in March 2021. 6-goal thriller. The reverse fixture, of course, at the Emirates was a 2-win for Arsenal as well. The away side's only won once on the last 6 occasions. That's when Arsenal beat West Ham at, of course, West Ham Stadium. That's back in December 2019. West Ham, though, coming into the back of that 2-1 loss against Frankie. Of course, Arsenal with a 3-1 win over Manchester United. Also, big back-to-back wins for them, scoring 7 goals in the last 2 games combined, though. Looking forward on this one, then, shall we? What we got going on? We've got Arsenal. Arsenal 5-4 on for the victory. They are favoured on the road. 10-3 is your West Ham. 14-5 is your draw. I'm backing, of course, a 2-1 win for the Hammers here. Of course, Arsenal are hot and cold. Just know which Arsenal will show up, but I just think West Ham at home will need a bounce back from that shit show that was, of course, Frankie just yesterday. And wrap it up. It'll be Wolverhampton Wanderers up against Brighton. Of course, 3 o'clock kickoff coming at you on Saturday as well. Played each other 21 times since 2002. 5 wins apiece, 11 draws, of course. Wolves, though, bit of a bad run right now, winning just 3 defeats out of the last 4, 50% form over the last 6. Up against the Brighton side, who've won 2, lost 2, and drawn 2 over the last 6. 50% form heading into this match as well. Last time around over at Molineux was a 2-1 win for Wolves. In fact, Wolves are unbeaten over against Brighton over the last 6. Picking up 2 wins, back-to-back wins, of course, but 6 games unbeaten with 4 draws in that mix as well. Brighton, though, with a 2-2 draw against Southampton. Of course, Wolves back-to-back games without a goal for them, losing 1-0 respectively to Newcastle and Burnley in the recent fixtures. 17-10 is your Wolves, 11-5 is your draw, 7-4 is your win. That is Brighton over Albion. Of course, I'm back in, of course, Wolves here. 1-0 win for them at home to move the chains a little bit and, of course, end the season strongly, of course. But that is just about it. I've got a busy old day ahead of me. Got lots of stuff brewing behind the scenes. Not for the channel, but, of course, work-wise, lot chaos and stuff like that. But anyway, be sure to get your picks in. Cut the 4 Premier League is free to enter. Get your name in likes, of course, and you could be a prediction king for this week. And also, you could start, of course, building up for May, the final month of the season, and you could actually win the prediction of the month for May if you get kick off to a flyer as well. And then you might even win a prize. You might get a digital hug from me. But that, my friends, is just about it. Yes, of course, we'll be back tomorrow live, a double live session tomorrow for League One Showdown. We'll, of course, see the conclusion of League One, see who goes up, see who goes down, see, of course, makes the players, and then we'll be back for Rovers' biggest game of the season, must-win game at home at Bournemouth. Of course, win, and we'll drag it out to the last game of the season. But until then, boys, that is it. Be sure to join us then. Of course, make sure you smash the old thumbs up. It does wonders for the old channel, wonders for the old algorithm and all that kind of stuff. And I'll be back, of course, for some various live stuff over the next few days as well. But until then, boys, I'll see you soon. I've got to go drop the car off. But until then, I'll see you all later. Be safe out there. And, of course, subscribe.